Coming up on Mornings on the Hill, a grand opening for the new Student Health Center known as the Arch. We'll take you inside.
While at the Whitman School, a milestone celebration honors 100 years of getting down to business.
And a former Orange football great returns to campus, not to throw the pigskin, but sign his brand new book.
All that plus your weather and orange sports coming up on this edition of Mornings on the Hill.
Thanks for joining us for Mornings on the Hill.
And I'm Michelle Knezvik. Here's a look at some of the stories we'll be talking about in our first half hour.
Our top story this hour, recent studies show suicide rates are rising every year.
Our reporter Morgan Trow joins us live to tell us how Syracuse University is addressing mental illness.
Suicide rates are at an all-time high, with researchers saying it will only get worse if mental illness is not addressed. September is National Suicide Awareness Month, and the Syracuse community is determined to end the stigma around depression for not just this month, but every month.
I was this depressed, lonely, bulimic, sickly, just unhappy human being.
Syracuse University student LJ Luba says he spent the last year of his life struggling to get up in the morning, draw, or do other activities he used to love. And according to recent studies, he is not alone.
It's really been since 2007 that suicide rates have started to skyrocket.
Suicide rates in the United States have doubled since 2000, but the Syracuse community wants to combat that during this year's National Suicide Awareness Month. Organizations are urging people to seek out friends to help with loneliness, one of the major symptoms of depression.
The kid that I lived with last year is probably one of the few reasons why I'm still here, honestly, because there were weeks, like literally weeks, where he was my only interaction.
Contact Community Services Program Manager Christine Knutson says picking up on others' behavior could help save lives.
People isolating themselves, changes in mood or behavior, sleeping too much, sleeping too little.
While you've been watching this news piece, 2 people have committed suicide. That is 1 every 40 seconds. The warning signs of depression are sometimes hard to read, like oversleeping or subtle mood changes, but it never hurts to ask someone how they are doing.
I'm making upward progress, but I wouldn't say that I'm great. I have a lot more time to make things better.
Syracuse University is taking steps to address mental health concerns with a brand new Barnes Center at the Arch. The facility has a full counseling center, health promotions offices, and health services. I'm Morgan Trow reporting live. Back to you in studio.
Thanks, Morgan. The time has finally come. The Barnes Center at the Archbold Gym is finally open after almost 2 years of construction. The grand opening took place on Friday. At the grand opening, Syracuse University had notable alumni speak, such as Sean McDonough and Stephen Barnes.
And in addition to these two, there were a lot of other people from the community as well to participate in this grand opening. After the ceremony was over, everyone was offered a tour around the facility to see everything that it has to offer. The Barnes Center has a little bit of everything for students and staff, from a swimming pool to a therapy dog room. The Barnes Center has created an area where students and staff can go to help maintain their overall health.
I have to say the dog part is definitely my favorite. The building is open at 6:30 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, and each department has specific hours within the Barnes Center. Make sure to check out syracuseuniversity.com for specific hours. VP of Student Affairs Dolan Avenjevich says this project's main focus was the students.
We'll change it profoundly. I mean, I think our students that will be able to come to one stop and get assistance if they're anxious about a test or they need a personal trainer to help work out. There's a full service pharmacy. So from beginning to end, from A to Z, to help students be healthy, make good academic decisions, and be successful is what it's all about.
One of the main reasons for the reconstruction was to have a one-stop shop for the students, a place where students can receive services that will help with their overall health. A full gym, swimming pool, med spa, counseling center, pharmacy, and even a room with therapy dogs. A central location on campus where all students can go.
The Whitman School of Management is celebrating 100 years.
Our Cheyenne Nobrega is live in the studio with on how the school marked this occasion.
Thanks. Students, faculty, and staff gathered in the David and Eileen Flom Grand Hall to kick off the anniversary celebration. People in attendance were welcomed by Dean Gene Anderson, who highlighted the school's prosperity over the years. He attributed the past century's success to dedication and passion from faculty, students, and alumni.
When you add up all the impact that they've had on business and communities, it's really something to be proud of.
Dean Anderson also unveiled a set of core values which he hopes will propel the school into the future. 5 students and faculty presented the values to the audience. According to Anderson, Whitman wants to build upon these values to ensure growth.
We really want to pay attention to our culture and to try to nurture these 5 core values so that we can continue to be successful going forward.
The event took place on Monday, September 16th, a significant date for Whitman, which represents the first day of classes that took place in 1919. For Mornings on the Hill, I'm Cheyenne Nobrega.
Thanks, Cheyenne. Time to check your weather for today.
Jillian Andrews is live on University Ave to tell us what to expect. Jill?
Good morning, everyone. It is a beautiful day on campus. We had a chilly start this morning with temperatures down in the 40s. However, it is already starting to warm up. We're in the 60s now, and we're going to keep climbing into the 70s. The sun is shining. There's no chance of rain today. All there is a light breeze. Now, as far as getting ready for the day, layers are the key. The temperature can change between when you walk into class and when you walk out. Now, for all of you with late classes tonight, make sure you keep the jacket with you because it is cooling down. That pattern that we've had at the beginning of the week is continuing. And of course, everyone just get outside and enjoy the sun. You never know when that snow is going to start. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Jill. A man who considers himself a fish out of water made an appearance at Syracuse University on Monday night. Cartoonist and freelance writer Dwayne Booth, commonly known as Mr. Fish, spoke at the Herg and screened his new documentary. The film is called Mr. Fish, Cartooning from the Deep End. It showcases his life as a controversial political cartoonist who struggles to support his family while dealing with the backlash of his controversial artwork. Mr. Fish signed autographs for students and sold copies of his cartoons. The documentary is available now on Amazon.
And Latinx Hispanic Heritage Month has kicked off. It is a month of celebrating the independence for Latin American countries. The Office of Multicultural Affairs will host several events during the month to highlight different Latinx and Hispanic cultures. Juliesa Pabon, chair of the Latinx Hispanic Heritage Month Committee, says this year's theme for Latinx Hispanic Heritage Month is celebrating the past, present, and the future. The celebratory month begins on Tuesday and ends on October 15th.
The College of Engineering and Computer Science announces the new dean. J. Cole Smith served as associate provost at Clemson University before coming to Syracuse. Smith says he was interested in Syracuse because, quote, the college's reputation for creating engineering and computing solutions for pivotal societal needs. While at Clemson, Smith was awarded for his research and publications and presentations. Smith's term as dean takes in effect on October 1st.
Syracuse University has joined nearly 70 other educational institutions nationwide in an effort to save the bees. SU is now a certified affiliate of the Bee Campus USA program. The university seeks to improve its landscape in hopes of helping the bees. This process includes eliminating the use of dangerous pesticides in its landscaping techniques. University grounds manager Pat Carroll says it's important they have to provide a beautiful campus while also being environmentally cautious.
Coming up here on Mornings on the Hill, if you vape, you should listen up.
New rules are going into effect which should impact your habit. Details when Mornings on the Hill returns. A Syracuse University student is suing Juul Labs, an e-cigarette company, after his addiction to their products resulted in a stroke and serious personal injuries. Reporter Alexander Jennerjohn is in the studio to share more about how these nicotine products are affecting young adults.
Heavy Juul users like Maxwell Berger are turning to Juul and their products because they've been convinced they're safer. But users are still getting their nicotine, but without the tar and other chemicals that come with smoking. Coordinator of Onondaga County Health Department's tobacco program, Karen Johnson, says while these vaping products do have the potential to be less harmful, she would never say they are safe.
You know, the number of people we've seen just in the last year who have come down with this mysterious lung illness linked to vaping. And unfortunately, this is such a new product that we don't know what the long-term risks are.
The lawsuit followed Governor Cuomo's push on a flavor ban for vape products. Berger says at the time of his stroke, he was smoking up to 2 Juul pods a day, which is the same as smoking 3 packs of cigarettes. The director on the board of the New York State Vapor Association, David Berry, says that prohibition isn't the solution to the problem, but stronger regulations could be.
The reason why they chose a flavor is to get away from the classic tobacco traditional flavors of those, and to make sure that it is legally purchased products, to know that there is thorough testing that's been done on the products.
Johnson disagrees, though, and says Juul's marketing strategies have encouraged young adults to potentially consume more nicotine than expected.
Some of the products are not even labeled correctly. Like, some people will get these products thinking they're nicotine-free, and then when they've been tested, they find that there actually is nicotine in them.
But Berry says he's certain people will continue tending to their nicotine addictions, whether they're buying legal, regulated products or illegal products.
They will seek product on the black market. We've seen some of the issues already with that. There's going to be a lot worse things that we'll need to be worried about if that does take place.
Berger is now working to recover and lead a normal life, but he isn't the only young adult that has been affected by various vaping illnesses. Health officials have now said that if you're using any sort of vape products, you're encouraged to stop until they can pinpoint what is causing these illnesses. Reporting live in studio, I'm Alexandra Jennerjohn for Mornings on the Hill.
Tuesday, September 17th was Constitution Day in the United States. To recognize this historic day, a naturalization ceremony was held at Syracuse University. Our Alex Peebles says this day is one of many have long awaited.
Thanks, Alexa. The Syracuse University College of Law was the place for many immigrants from around the world to be granted citizenship, each with a different story to tell. 76 people from 36 different countries were granted citizenship at this naturalization ceremony.
I'm from Russia.
In Afghanistan.
Iraq. Mexico.
Burma.
For some immigrants, like Mustafa Jabbar, this naturalization ceremony signifies more than just citizenship to the United States, but a chance at a new beginning. What does this day mean to you?
Today? Very heavy.
Many immigrants, like Jabbar, come from places that have less opportunity than the United States.
We have a lot of bad time in Burma.
But the process in which these immigrants get citizenship has become increasingly more difficult over the past 20 years. Immigration attorney Sharon Ames says the government is stricter in reviewing refugee and immigration documents in recent years.
When you apply for citizenship, is they want to know how you got your green card. They never used to go back into that.
This rigorous review process can last years, and in some cases can even last a decade.
They've gone through all the interviews. They still do further background checks. They have medical exams. So by the time they come here as a refugee, they have been trying to get here for 10 years at least.
America welcomes another group of new citizens at the next naturalization ceremony, scheduled for this Friday, September 20th in Albany. For Mornings on the Hill, I'm Alex Peebles.
Thanks, Alex. While it was not a great weekend for Syracuse football, it was not a total loss for fans of Orange players.
Exactly. A former Syracuse University quarterback has made his way to campus. Dana Casulo is live in studio with more. Dana?
That's right, Michelle. Don McPherson hosted a book signing for his new book, You Throw Like a Girl. Don McPherson is changing up the game, being an activist and feminist hosting book signings at the Shine Student Center. His new book, You Throw Like a Girl, tackles the issues of men's relationships with women and ultimately with themselves, taking a closer look at aspirational masculinity.
A form of masculinity that's not defined by who we are as violent people. It's not even a conversation, not even defined by the issue of men's violence against women. It's really a conversation that men need to have with each other about what it means to be a healthy and whole man.
McPherson believes people dismiss college men's need and want to have a more honest conversation about masculinity and what it means to be a man. Men being comfortable having open and honest conversations with everyone in their lives will lead to healthier relationships.
I would say we don't raise boys to be men, we raise boys not to be women, which means there's a lot of things about being a man that we don't talk about in any great detail. And we tend to make assumptions. Because of male privilege, we tend to make assumptions that, well, they've got privilege and so they're either okay or they're not going to listen to this conversation anyway.
Syracuse University students Michael Hanlon and Luke McCarthy believe McPherson is addressing an important issue.
I just think it's a great thing for him to be able to come out here, no shame, just like promote his message, come back to Syracuse. People look up to him, like he's kind of a figure around here. So like I think it's a great thing.
Now we move from one Orange football legend to another. During halftime of the Syracuse-Clemson football game on Saturday, a moving ceremony was held at midfield to honor former All-American Tim Green. During the ceremony on Saturday, during the ceremony, the university retired his number 72. Green graduated from Syracuse in 1982 and went on to play for the Atlantic Falcons for almost a decade. After a stint in the NFL, Green came back to Syracuse to run a law firm and several community organizations. The former football star is battling ALS and Saturday made his first public appearance since the diagnosis. He wrote an emotional message shared by his son Troy for the Syracuse fan base.
I am and will be one of you. God bless you all and go Orange.
But our Shoshana Stahl is live in studio this morning with a member of University Union's e-board. Shoshana?
Thanks, Michelle. I'm joined this morning by Concerts Director Lane Lindroth. So Lane, following Juice Jam, can you just tell me how far in advance UU looks to book the people that they have at the concerts?
Usually we start about 4 to 5 months in advance. So I started booking Juice Jam as soon as I got elected to my role as University Union Concerts Director at the end of April.
So what goes into the thought process when you're trying to pick an artist?
The first thing we always look at is the student surveys. So at the end of each year, we send out a comprehensive survey on all of our events via email to a random sample group of different Syracuse University students, and also we blast it out on our social media pages for everybody to take.
And are there any requirements the school makes you have when you pick an artist?
No, we make sure that artist is aligning with our values and we make sure that they're going to be a safe choice to bring to campus. But other than that, the university gives us a lot of control over who we're allowed to bring.
And how can students better understand this booking process?
The best way for students to be involved in the booking process, excuse me, is definitely to fill out those surveys. We really do take into account everything that students say on social media, everything that they say in the surveys. And we also have a research team that's paying attention to trends and releases and tours to help us make a really educated decision. And once we have that information, we start getting in touch with agents and start trying to find their availability and how much they're going to cost and puzzling together the lineups that we think are going to satisfy the most people.
So when you're doing a lineup, are you looking for people that are on the up and up, or are you looking for people that are already established? Like, what are you looking for with that?
Both. We try to bring a headliner that we think is going to satisfy the maximum number of people on campus. But for something like Juice Jam, we have 5 spots for artists. So we also like to bring up-and-coming artists. And we also have a concert series called Bandersnatch that we've always used to try to highlight up-and-coming artists.
And what kind of backlash do you get from the students about the artists that you pick?
Something that we see a lot is students really, really wanting to bring a particular artist to campus and then being kind of dissatisfied or disappointed when we can't make that happen. But that just comes with the role sometimes. We really, really do try to make it happen, but sometimes there's just a conflicting date or they might be out of our budget and there's just nothing we can do about it, unfortunately.
And what can students look forward to in the upcoming months from UU?
Our next concert is going to be at the beginning of next month, and that will be part of our Bandersnatch concert series. But other than that, we have weekly cinema screenings on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays in HBC, starting with Rocket Man this week.
Thank you so much, Lane. So thanks once again for having Lane join us, and still to come on Mornings on the Hill, we're going to give you a quick weather update and send you to class, and also tell you about a new twist on a classic fall activity. Stay with us. That story and more just ahead.
And we're back on this beautiful Wednesday morning. We have a live look at the dome. As you can see, we have a beautiful sunny day ahead of us. For those of you just waking up, it was cooler this morning, but here we are. Here is a look at your current conditions. We're already warming up. Looks like we're going to have a lovely afternoon. Here we have the temperatures across central New York. As you can see, we are pretty standard throughout the area, a little cooler down in Cortland, but pretty standard across the region if anyone's leaving campus today. Now tomorrow is looking just like today. Again, we will warm up quickly, so keep those winter outfits in the closet a little bit longer. Those cozy sweaters are tempting for the early birds. You can also leave that umbrella behind. As you see, there will be a very small chance for rain, if any. All in all, we can look forward to another beautiful afternoon here on campus. Moving on to the 5-day. Now, everyone should be looking forward to the weekend this week because it's going to be a good one. Saturday, we're really warming up temperatures, reaching 80 degrees in sunny skies. We're staying warm into Sunday. So everyone enjoy this warm weather while it lasts. Sunday night, we have a 40% chance of showers, and those of you with evening plans this weekend, don't forget to grab that jacket on your way out the door. Temperatures will cool down in the evenings, dipping down into the 50s and 60s. And as we return to classes on Monday, there will be an even higher chance of rain, about 50%. That's your weather forecast for this Wednesday morning. Make sure you get out there and enjoy the sun.
Thanks, Jill. If you're looking for something to do this weekend, you might want to head to the apple orchards.
Yeah, it's a popular, fun, and healthy activity. Jacob Kronberg found one unique apple picking place where you don't even need a ladder to get to the top.
That sounds awesome.
Autumn in central New York, which means it's apple picking season. I'm here at Navarino Orchard in Onondaga County to talk about a different realm of apple picking. Here at Navarino Orchard, they have both dwarf and semi-dwarf apple trees, which makes the convenience of apple picking easier for both the farmer and the consumer. For farmers like Vinny Sisignano, it's about frequency and level of production from the tree.
The powers that be, they say that with these dwarf trees, you get higher yields and you get to start picking earlier. So, you know, on year 2, you can start getting apples off the tree, and you can get up to like 1,000 bushels per acre, depending on variety.
A standard acre of dwarf trees produces around 1,000 bushels, while an acre of semi-dwarf trees produces around 600 or 700. Nonetheless, plenty of apples at hand for customers.
I definitely think it's much easier to be able to pick the apples that are lower down, and there's more lower down since the trees are shorter, so you don't have to reach as much.
Apple picking is most definitely a fall-time tradition, whether you do it with your significant other, your friends, or your family. Sometimes there's hassle involved. Not here. Look how easy it is to just pluck an apple off this tree. Dwarf apple trees may be the new trend. Jacob Kronberg, NCC News.
Jill, it looks like a great weekend for apple picking. What do you think?
It's going to be a beautiful weekend. Everyone should really get out there and take advantage of it because you never know when the snow is going to start falling. And so really a beautiful weekend, sunny skies, very small chance of rain, if any, on Sunday night. Saturday is going to be that beautiful day everyone wants.
And what a fun activity to do with your family, your friends, really anyone. You can bring the whole family. Anyone can be a part of it. Who doesn't love apples or apple cider donuts? Have you guys tried those before?
No.
Oh,
Yes.
She's from Miami. We're from New York. Apple cider donuts, so delicious. You have to try them.
I do love apple cider, though. That is
Yep.
amazing. Cinnamon, amazing.
Perfect.
And even sometimes hay rides or even just fall activities as a whole. Do you have any special places around here you like to go, Jill? I know you're from the area.
Yeah, well, towards the Lafayette area, there's tons of apple orchards and places, you know, to do, you know, fun things beyond just apple picking, but you can get out in the field and get to the trees and start picking, so, yeah.
And it's a great way to bring out those fall clothes, take some cute Instagram pics.
I know, there you go.
We all
bring out those
Scarves.
booties.
We know all the Syracuse students love that. Activities, I know sometimes sororities or fraternities on campus will do events together where they can bring a whole bunch of people. Maybe hay rides. Do they have any haunted hay rides around here?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know that Syracuse does start to do some of that stuff as we get closer into the fall.
Closer into the
which is
fall.
Great, yeah.
Yeah, I'm personally very, very afraid of those things. So I won't be there. I'll be at the apple picking if we want to go, but no scary stuff for me.
Great.
Yeah, the haunted hayride sounds fun to me.
I know, and
Michelle
I'm
will sit
also
on that one.
so excited for the leaves to start changing. Everyone loves, when you look up and the colors, especially, in Syracuse with all the hills and everything else.
Well, hopefully next Wednesday we have some orange leaves for our morning.
Yes, that's going to do it for us this Wednesday here on Mornings on the Hill. I'm Alexa Roth. Follow us on social media.
And I'm Michelle Knezvik. Thanks for watching. Orange Nation, we'll see you next Wednesday live here at 10 a.m. on OTN.